What is the best way to start the day with just a cup of coffee? Delicious. Or for this gentleman is actually making a lovely bowl of noodles done, it looks like, in the countryside. A warm welcome to the channel. It is the 30th of July, it's Saturday, it's 2022, and welcome to another weekend. I hope everyone is doing well and dandy. Now, as the title says, let's start off with the new dam. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think this dam is either, I'm limiting it down, in North Africa, Pakistan, or India. And the people who posted this are saying, thanking whoever built it. But is this a Chinese-made dam? And if you look at it closely, and I'll show this image time and time again, if you look at it closely, it seems to be similar to the dams that you get in China, especially with the cranes that seem to be being built there. And I hope that the dam does well. I hope it's built well. I hope it does provide flood protection and it provides electricity to possibly the millions of people who need it. Now, again, I'm not too sure where it is. Moving away from that, going straight into it, again, these are in Pakistan and India, the monsoon season. You can see the rains like this, and coming up in a moment or two, you can actually see the devastation of a dam that did sort of like partially break. Now, I haven't got any images of this, but this is the downstream of it, and people are saying, oh my goodness, what has happened here? I did mention this a little bit earlier on, but many congratulations to Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is a YouTube phenomenon, and he makes these great videos. He has a massive studio, I think, in California in the United States. And another great YouTuber who I do watch called Who's the Boss, an English guy, went to go and visit him. Now, I'm going to put the links in the description below so you can follow their channels and you can see what I mean. Give me a comment about whether you like them or you dislike them. Who's the Boss is actually really good with tech. If you're into the latest computers, phones, gadgets, the good things, the bad things about Android and iPhone, etc. And for the people who say that the dam has been washed away, well, it's still there, because we can look at the levels right now, and this is from the Ministry of Water Resources over a 24-hour period. So at the top of the reservoir, 660 kilometers away from the actual dam itself, the levels have gone up at 166.79. Yingchang has gone up as well. Red means up, it's 42.43. And the Three Gorges Reservoir says it's gone down, but it looks like it's gone up. It's in green, but regardless of that, it's 149.13. The inflow of the dam itself is 15,000, and the outflow is 13,300. One more to have a look at. Yes, I'm going to go to the webcam, but you can see the pictures over the last 30 days. It's still in Shandong province, so the dam has actually picked up its heels and walked about 400 kilometers and planted itself down there near the ocean in between Shanghai and Beijing. Let's have a look at the weather. related to dams and the three gorges and the weather, that's all I got really for you. But there have been some sightings of a lot of tanks on trains on the way to Fujian province. They say, this is just a rumor at the moment, Fujian province is the closest province in China to Taiwan. The only thing that stops it is the Straits of Taiwan, the country of Taiwan. So people are getting scared again. Now, I can't verify this, but this is a train full of tanks going through a train station, and someone recorded this and managed to put it on Twitter. Now, the other day, another YouTuber that I follow is Serpent ZA. He was in China for a long time, reads and speaks Chinese pretty well, and he was doing that China has lost the space war. Quite recently, China has put a rocket into space, not too sure the reason why, but one of the rockets or one of the satellites or something is falling back into Earth. Now, the Chinese government or the Chinese NASA or the equivalent of that would say most of it is going to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, which is good, but some of it is going to land on Earth, but they don't know where. A 24-hour period is needed before it lands where it is. Now, hopefully it's going to be in some sea and it's not going to be in land, but according to my knowledge, this is the second time this has happened, and you could say this is the sort of attitude of Chinese government. Just care about themselves, don't care about the rest of the world. But surely we live on one planet, so can we have one world? Here's the report.
Large Chinese rocket that was recently launched are uncontrollably descending towards Earth. But there is probably little cause for concern. The debris is from a mission to deliver a space station module, and the detached rocket that carried the payload is expected to break up while re-entering the atmosphere. But it is likely that some pieces will make it to Earth. The Chinese government has been previously accused of mishandling space debris. Most space missions involving the re-entry of large pieces of equipment like satellites or rockets have systems in place to control where that debris will fall, usually into remote parts of the ocean. But this rocket does not, and no one is exactly sure when or where it will fall. Experts have some idea, but won't know a precise location until about 24 hours from the time the debris reaches Earth, which is likely sometime this weekend. Re-entry of uncontrolled space debris does carry some risk of casualty, though it is minimal. However, experts say that risk is increasing as rockets launch more frequently, and the risk is especially high in the global.
What else is happening? Well, I did see this from an ambassador of China, and you can see this is a China government official quoted on Twitter, saying China has achieved almost a miracle in saving the lives of its population from COVID-19. More precisely, this is an outstanding achievement in human rights, said an British expert. So let's have a listen to this news article, and then let's go and discover who this British expert is.
On 18th July, official data shows 6.37 million people died from COVID. China in 2020, when the pandemic began, was 18.2% of the world's population. If China had suffered 18.2% of world COVID deaths, proportional to its population, there would have been 1,158,000 COVID deaths in mainland China. In fact, there have been only 5,226, 0.08% of the world's deaths. China has therefore achieved almost a miracle in saving the lives of the population from COVID. More precisely, this is an outstanding achievement in human rights. In contrast, the US...
So the British guy is a former director of the economic and business policy for the Mayor of London. Don't know how long ago, and now he works for a senior fellow of the Chongyang Institute for the Financial Studies of Renmin University of China. Okay, so he went over to China after he left, or whatever the situation related to him being a director for the blah 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 for the Mayor of London. But this comes from CGTN, Chinese Television Global Network, or China Global Television Network, whatever it is. And most of the time when you do have someone who does work for this. So yes, he is a professor or a speaker or a fellow, senior fellow at a university in China, but he's also, you could say, one of the CCP shills who just makes the propaganda and tries to make it believable. So when you get an article like this, I just call baloney on it. Okay, let's finish off with something a little bit more light-hearted. Dancing. Now, today's dancing is not coming from Yingchang, but I think it is coming from Yunnan province, where you can see here people are just having a little bit of fun. And why not? The problem with China is not the Chinese people, it is the Chinese government and how they dictate and use propaganda in the wrong way to say everything is sort of okay. Now, in general, I keep repeating this, China is, you could say, a okay place to live. It's just a different style to the West, and you just have to accept that. The Chinese government is a dictatorship. You can't really talk about it in China. It's a sensitive subject. If you do, you may get reprimanded in a jail and say, sorry, I didn't mean to, then they'll let you go. So lots of things are monitored on places like WeChat, which is similar a little bit in the way to Facebook. But it's good to see real people actually enjoying themselves in the People's Republic of China. But you always think sometimes it's not really the People's Republic, it's Xi Jinping's Republic for looking after himself and the cronies and don't care about anyone else of China. Whew. That brings us to a close on today, Saturday the 30th of July 2022. The normal message is to hit the like, smash the like, drop the like, whatever you want to call it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm not too sure if I'm going to get to my 31,000 subscribers by the end of the month. I've only got one more day and they seem to be going down. So please hit that like button and share this with your friends. Many thanks to all the members of the channel. Many thanks to all the Patreon members of the channel as well. Not many, but you do support the Tokyo Cat Food Foundation. Be good, be well. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye for now. My name is Jade.